After that night, something shifted in the town. Thomas became more than just a loud character with tall tales. He became a symbol of possibility, a reminder that life, no matter how small the town or how limited the resources, could still be filled with grand, unexpected moments. People started approaching him more regularly, sharing their own stories and ideas. The tavern, once the central gathering place, now saw frequent visits from townsfolk who had come to see Thomas, not just for his tales, but for the way he made them feel alive. But as much as Thomas had made an impact, his presence began to strain the boundaries he had carefully set for himself. With each new connection, each new person drawn into his orbit, he found himself confronting emotions he had long buried. One evening, after a particularly lively conversation with a group of townspeople at the tavern, he left abruptly. He was in high spirits, laughing as he exited the door, but there was an unmistakable air of unease around him. He walked the streets aimlessly, his footsteps echoing in the quiet night, and found himself standing in front of the now empty theater. He stared up at the building, its lights now dimmed. For a fleeting moment, the grandness of what he had just done overwhelmed him. He had given the town something it hadn't known it needed. But there was a gnawing emptiness in his chest, a sense that no matter how many people cheered for him, the applause couldn't fill the hollow spaces inside. In the following days, the people of Dunmore began to notice the inconsistencies in Thomas's character. He would show up to the tavern with his usual energy, laughing and entertaining, but then disappear for hours, sometimes days, without explanation. The boisterous man who had once walked through the town like a whirlwind now seemed to retreat into himself at times, leaving only traces of his larger-than-life persona behind. Yet even as his shadows grew deeper, the town's fascination with Thomas only intensified. They saw him as both a spectacle and a mystery, someone whose outsized personality couldn't hide the cracks in his soul. Despite the flashes of vulnerability, he had become too ingrained in the fabric of Dunmore to ever truly fade away. And so, Thomas O'Brien's boisterous character continued to dominate the town's landscape, a man constantly on the verge of revealing something greater, but never quite doing so. His loud laughter, his extravagant gestures, and his spontaneous performances were now part of Dunmore's identity, and the people, whether they realized it or not, had become irrevocably drawn into his world.